Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to JDB Selects. Ooh, it feels good to say that. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The NRL season officially kicks off at the end of this week, and I am your one-stop shop for everything NRL tips, breakdowns, analysis, and stats. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure you leave a like if you do enjoy. Leave your tips in the comments down below, and also hit that subscribe button. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back for another season. And your continued support is very much appreciated. Round 1 is a very special round this year. It's obviously kicking off in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. A monumental moment for the game with obviously potential future implications for the growth of the game. The NRL obviously want to tap into that American gambling market, so I don't blame them. And if they can pull it off, man, it's only going to be good for us as fans and for the players and staff and clubs involved. Now again, if you are new here, you may not know, but we do run a subscribers tipping comp every year, and this year is no different. So this year we are going to give prizes for the top 3 finishers in the comp. First place, you get 2 tickets to the grand final. Second place, you will win a 2024 NRL jersey of your choice. And finally, third place, you can get a $50 NRL shop voucher to put towards whatever you want to buy from the NRL store. Now, and to join, it is free entry. There is no entry fee. It costs you nothing to join. However, there are some non-negotiables. So, first one, you have to be subscribed to JDB Selects on YouTube. You also have to follow me on both Facebook and Instagram. Now, if you do not have Facebook or don't have Instagram, that's fine. As long as you can prove you are following me on as many platforms as possible and an active member of the community. The other really key point is when you do sign up to the tipping comp, make sure you use an email that you use in your everyday life, because if you are a winner, I will contact you via that email. So please make sure that the email address you sign up with is active, or else I won't be able to contact you if you were to win a prize. Cool, and I know I have been rambling on for a little bit longer, but this is the first one back of the season, so bear with me. If you are new here, we also run fan-voted community polls every week for every game. Just head on over to the community tab on my YouTube channel and you can vote and have your say. Right now, 87% of people think the Broncos are going to get past the Roosters this weekend. If you are a Roosters fan or think otherwise, head on over there and vote for the Chooks because they need some support right now. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at JDB Selects everywhere. Alright, cool. I think that is most of the admin done and dusted. Again, apologies. First video of the year. We need to get that housekeeping in order. But let's get stuck in now to my Vegas round 1 tips. Starting first with the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Alright, starting first with the Sea Eagles. They ended up finishing 12th in 2023 with a bit of a lackluster year. The Sea Eagles sort of hovered in and out of the 8 throughout the majority of that season. Standout performances throughout the year from Daly Cherry Evans, Hamoli Olakau'atu and Ruben Garrick were certainly shining lights in their season. However, obviously losing Tom Trbojevic in round 15 put a big dent in their chances of making the 8 and winning the premiership. I did touch on it briefly in my Manly predicted teams list video, but if you haven't watched that, Manly have a very, very good winning record when Tom's in the side. I think it is just shy of 70% if I'm not mistaken. And on the flip side, obviously when Tom's not in the side, they tend to lose a majority of their games. So losing Tom was obviously a big blow for the Sea Eagles, but he is back in action this week, as I will touch on soon when we look at the teams lists. But yeah, that certainly didn't help their 2023 campaign. And as for the Rabbitohs, they also had a season to forget in 2023, going from leading the comp in the early rounds to falling outside the 8 in the final round of the season. Really disappointing season for the Rabbitohs. I think they had the second worst completion rate in the comp last year. They didn't really struggle to score points, but they struggled to hold the ball and build pressure on sides and defend their line. They just leaked too many points, and although they had plenty of points in them, their own errors and handling just really let them down in the end of the season. Similar to Manly, the Rabbitohs were also without their star fullback Latrell Mitchell for a good chunk of that season. That certainly didn't help their chances of making the 8, but again, one person shouldn't really decide the outcome of football games. Alright, looking at the two sides head-to-head, Souths have won 8 of the past 9 games between the two clubs. That includes 7 straight. They've also won by pretty big margins too, with 4 of their last 5 wins being by 14 points or more. The current odds, and by the way, as you can see, it says odds powered by insert name here. I'm currently looking for a sponsor, so if you or someone you know would like to sponsor the odds in this video, feel free to reach out to me via email. That is in the YouTube bio. Thanks very much. Looking at the head-to-head odds right now, Manly are the dogs at $2.10, with the Bunnies coming back at $1.75. The line for this one is 1.5, and the over-under is 42.5 points. Just quickly, I do want to just run through the teams list as well. We don't normally do this if you are new here, but just because this is the first round of the season, I do want to just touch on a few key teams list changes, especially as it is the first one of the season. So looking at the Sea Eagles, we obviously touched on Tommy Turbo is back in action for the first time since round 15. The biggest talking point though, however, I think will be Luke Brooks, who has come across from the West Tigers and will partner Daly Cherry Evans in the halves. Very excited to see how Luke goes in that Manly system. Corey Waddell was also a new signing. He joins the interchange bench at number 15. And what is also quite neat too is you've got Tom, Ben and Jake Trbojevic all starting in the Vegas round, which is I'm sure a very special moment for them and their family. And as for the Rabbitohs, Cody Walker is back on deck after missing the Indigenous All-Stars with a calf injury. No Jack Whiten in round 1 as he is suspended. That means Richie Kenner and Isaiah Tass make up the centre combination. Sean Kepi is named at starting prop for the Rabbitohs, having just joined from the Manly Sea Eagles. And starting on the wing is Jacob Gagai, who will be making his NRL debut. Round 1 in Las Vegas. Come on, it does not get any bigger. Alright, cool. So who am I tipping? Ooh, geez, this is already a very challenging one. I'm going to take the Sea Eagles here 1-12. I think looking at both sides on paper, the Sea Eagles I think they have the Rabbitohs number. My biggest concern, obviously, is probably the new halves pairing of Brooks and Cherry Evans, whether that takes a little bit of time to kick in. And you've obviously got the more seasoned combination of Walker and Ilias for the Rabbitohs. That is very, very potent on their day. But looking at it one for one on paper, I do think the Sea Eagles have a better side in round 1. I do think, though, that the Rabbitohs do have a stronger interchange, so I wouldn't be surprised if during those rotation periods that the Rabbitohs sort of maybe pull away or turn the tables a wee bit on the Sea Eagles. But I do think that the Sea Eagles can squeak this one out and start the season with a win, so I'm going to take the Sea Eagles here 1-12. And moving now to the final game of this split round 1, we have the Sydney Roosters taking on the Brisbane Broncos, also over there at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Starting first with the Roosters, they just scraped into the 8 in the final round of the season last year, knocking off crosstown rivals, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, to forge their place in the 8, however could not progress past week 2. I know a lot of people, myself included, at the start of the 2023 season thought they would be the team to beat. On paper, they obviously had the biggest names, biggest stars, if you like, but didn't quite live up to the hype. Obviously, James Tedesco has sort of fallen out of form in recent years, which is very, very sad to see because he was the benchmark for fullbacks for a long time. Obviously, Australian captain, etc., etc. But it's not just Teddy's fault. I do think they have a bit of an aging roster in certain positions. They obviously have quite a lot of inexperience in the halves. But overall, their roster is better than that. And as for the Brisbane Broncos, they were the team to beat all year long, coming up agonizingly short in the grand final now. I was very, very lucky enough to be there in person to watch that game live. And I can tell you what, it was the best game of rugby league I have ever seen. You can call it recency bias, you can call it whatever you want. That game was absolutely outstanding. Despite the loss, I thought the Broncos played so well for 60 minutes of that game. Obviously, those magical tries by Ezra Mann was something special. But unfortunately, the Iceman, Nathan Cleary, just does what he does best, and that's win. He's a natural-born winner. But anyway, enough about the Panthers. Broncos, really great season. I mean, look, what can you say? They were great all year. They had 20 bad minutes in the grand final, and that was it. So hopefully the Broncos can recapture that form, use that loss as inspiration for the 2024 season. They obviously have lost a few players, which we'll touch on in a second, but they still have that core group, especially Mam, Reynolds, Walsh, Carrigan, Haas. I mean, they're still a very, very formidable side despite their losses of Flegel and Farnworth. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if they are the team to beat in 2024. Alright, looking at the two sides head-to-head, now the Roosters have won 5 of the last 7 games against the Broncos. That includes 3 of the last 4. However, the Broncos did beat the Roosters in their lone meeting last year, 32 points to 10. And as for the live odds right now, the Roosters are currently sitting at $2.35, with the Broncos coming back at $1.60. The line for this one is 3.5 points, and the over and under is 41.5. And a quick look at the teams list from round one. So former Panther Spencer Leniu has been given the green light and slots straight into the starting prop role alongside Lindsay Collins. I am very interested to see how that goes. Leniu obviously brings a lot of impact off the bench, but man, can you imagine those first few hit-ups? Leniu, Vegas, charging at Payne Haas. Oh, bring it on. The other changes for the Roosters, Dom Young, who is their new signing from the Knights, is out injured, so that means Joseph Suali'i moves to the wing, and Billy Smith is in the centre position. And that's pretty much it for the Roosters, a very similar side to what they fielded in their round one preseason challenge game. And as for the Broncos, Selwyn Cobbo has been moved into the centres, which makes way for 20-year-old Dean Mariner to take that wing spot over Corey Oates, who is named at 18th man. Brendan Piakura is also moved into the starting side at number 11. And Corey Jensen slots in the front row in place of Thomas Flegler, who is off to the Finns in 2024. Alright, cool. So, in terms of tip for this one, I do like the Broncos, obviously. I think given last year's form and their, unchanged lineup, you have to back the Broncos in this one. The Roosters obviously do have a very solid side. They did struggle a lot last year. I don't know what will have changed between now and then. I do think the Broncos will win and win comfortably, so I am going to take the Broncos here 13+. I really just don't see a way the Roosters win, but hey, I'll happily eat my words if I'm wrong. Bang, and just like that, we're done for the first week and a half anyway, of 2024. In summary, I am taking the Manly Sea Eagles 1-12 and the Brizzy Brothers 13+. Thank you as always for watching. Again, if you are new here or you haven't subscribed, do it now. Hit that button, leave a like on the video, leave your tips and predictions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.